Welcome to BPV's Stiller Anchor in a Box version 2.03 update. Now, if you didn't watch the previous video setting up a Stiller Anchor technical overview, which was recorded about a month ago, I recommend you go back and watch that one first. In this video, we'll just be going over the new features that we've added since that last update, and some of them might be quite useful. Here we are in the front end. I'm not going to demo it like we did last time, but you will see that you can search for things such as the email of the sender, the transaction ID, the Stiller account of the sender, and you can filter by status if there's an error, what Stiller asset, if you're anchoring different Stiller assets, you can search by that, the date, and so forth. We'll be adding additional features for filtering upcoming, and you'll be able to search for all the transactions you've had in the past. Second feature that we've added, you'll see here, is we've added some of the additional things that we discussed in the last version, such as the API key. You can generate an API key here, copy it, and then you can use it, as I mentioned in the previous video, to access everything you see here is accessible via the API. So you would copy it and then close. It's available only once. You can delete it as you need it. And there's a link to the API documents, which we have full swagger for to get you started quickly. Now, the other screen, rates, hasn't really changed too much. You can still set up different assets with different markups. So in this case, we're anchoring PHP to USDC, USDC from Circle, and PHP is the fiat asset. As you can see here, it's an ISO 2417. And we can set the rate, or we can have it automatically update. Second thing you can do is you can add new webhooks. Now, a webhook is triggered every time a transaction occurs, and it'll send all the information from the transaction to whatever destination you want as a post. This can be useful for integration into back-end systems without too much development work. So you can set up the webhooks here. Finally, we've got a settings view, which sort of shows you some of the features that I neglected to mention in the last version. You can export the log, see the backend log to see all your transactions that have occurred. Now we have got an automatic deployment manual method. If you're deploying many anchor in a boxes, it can be automated. It's integrated into AWS Watchtower. That gives you the ability to trigger events, and also gives you additional security insofar as every event in Anchor in a Box will be logged to your AWS instance. In this version, we're using local credentials, that's Django credentials, to log in. We also support OAuth 2, so you can log in using Authentic or any OAuth 2 provider. We've got hCaptca integration, both for logging into Anchor in a Box as well as for SEP24, to ensure that your system is not attacked. Sentry is another tool which captures errors from the back end, and typically for all customer deployments we use Sentry.io for capturing errors. We support a full ISO 20022 implementation. So if you're using SEPA, or if you're a bank and you're required to use ISO 20022 XML format, we can support that in terms of passing through the KYC or the transaction details. We also support multi-sig out of the box with our BP Guard software and BP Pay. This allows you to have not only multiple approvers on transactions, but it allows you to put thresholds where you can see how much you could say have a junior person send $500 up to $500, and senior person be able to approve up to 100,000, or you could have different levels of approval. We also have referral marketing integrated, fully integrated into the system, where you can have partner firms, referral marketers promote your anchor and refer and receive referral fees for every transaction or every new sign up. Finally, we've got Google Analytics, which is integrated. Again, it's disabled here, but that would allow you to track straight through from a wallet transaction into a submitted commit transaction. So if you wanted to have it trigger an event in your Google Analytics in terms of conversion tracking, and say put a value on it, say $20 or $10, you can then use Google's AI to do marketing and attract people to use your anchor. This simply shows the Polaris version, which we're using from Stellar, which is the most recent version, 2.3.10. We're using the Stellar public network, and here's our SEP10 signing key, which would be set up when you create the server. We can also see the maximum number of stroops that you'd be paying on any transactions where you're doing a payment or a deposit, typically. So these are settings, some of the settings that we have in the back end. You can see what they're set here, and allows you to know a little bit more about what the capabilities of Anchor in a Box are. I hope you found this helpful. We're continually adding new features to Anchor in a Box, and so keep tuned, or set up a demo. You can reach out to Christian or myself, Anthony, to set up a demo. We'd love to step you through it. Thanks, and hope you had a happy holidays.